Hey guys, wagwan. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kerry, and if you have not noticed, I have Microlocs. I have 600 locks. Yes, 600 locks, and they took me 6 weeks to complete. Yes, I feel like at the time I felt like I was putting myself through torture, but by the time I wanted to stop, I was already halfway through. So I said, you know what, let me just finish this. But when I was finished, I was really happy with what I did. I love my hair so far. I finished installing my locks on the 23rd of August. So far, I've seen a lot of difference in my locks to when I started. They're not like getting longer, but they're getting fuller. Like, I love that because my hair is pretty fine. So I was like, I didn't want to look like a little rat when I got my locks done. But the ugly phase has not been so ugly at all. Because you know, when you start locks, they always say you go through a little ugly phase. But I'm blessed that I did not. I think I didn't go through that phase. Maybe other persons would think I went through that phase. But I think my hair has been pretty beautiful throughout. There have been times when let's say I started to feel bad about my hair. Would I say bad? Less than positive about my hair. But then, you know, persons in my life, you know, encouraged me, my sister, and, you know, helped me to see the beauty in it. Because when you're used to wearing your hair a certain way and changing it as often as I do, you know, having your hair in one set way is, you know, pretty hard to get used to, right? So I thought today, in addition to announcing that I got locks, I would answer some of the questions that I got over on Instagram about my installation, how long it took, that sort of thing. So I'm just gonna go into my phone and get those questions now. Let me go over to my Instagram page because I got quite a lot of questions. Oh, and shameless plug, my Instagram is Kerry on Lock. So just go to my Instagram page and click follow to get all the updates on my hair journey, the stresses that I'm going through with my hair, the triumphs, you know, when I'm feeling myself, all of those. You'll be able to follow along with my lock growth journey. So I am, you know, happy to share this with you. Okay, so the first question is, did you straighten your hair first before you started your locks? And the answer is no. My hair is pretty light, so I didn't have to straighten it or blow dry it or anything like that before. All right, next question. How long was your hair when you started your locks? How long was my hair? It was not very long. I kept telling persons a finger length, which is the length from this end of my finger to the other end, not with the nails. But it was about 3 inches long, I would say, or 2 inches long, or 2.5, thereabouts. About 2 to 3 inches long. That's how long my hair was. Let's see. How do you lock the little ones in the front? I had to be very gentle. I used a lock. Let's see, what are those called? Oh Jesus, I used a latch hook. I used a latch hook to lock the front ones because at the time they were really short. So the tool that I use is about this length, and my hairs were too short to use that tool. So I put an elastic band and gently pulled it through to do the interlock because I locked from roots to ends. Did you do your own locks? Yes, I installed my own locks. They took 6 weeks to install because in between doing 2 jobs, you know, getting time to interlock your own hair, I had to just find the time when I could. I wore wigs for 6 weeks and I hate wearing wigs for more than 2 to 3 days. So it was kind of torture. I needed my head to be free. I'm used to my head being free. Let's see. Did someone help you part the back of your hair? No. I've been doing my hair for ages, and so I pretty much know my way around the back of my head just by feeling alone. So I didn't need any help to part it, but what I did is just ensure that the parts were straight. When I parted it out, I just looked in the mirror, used a trusty mirror, and I looked in the back of my head just to make sure that the parts were straight. But for most of it, it was just feeling to make sure that okay, I got it. And a rat tail comb, I was fine. I've been doing my hair for years. Okay, let's see. What method did you use to lock your hair? As I've been saying before, I used the interlock method. No, that wasn't easy given that my hair was so short and I wanted to keep a little of the ends. So what I did, I used one of those tiny black rubber bands and I, tied it around the end of whatever hair I parted out. And then I interlocked from there. When I got to the root, I used the latch hook. Another question I got was, how did you get your grid like this? Now, my hair is not sister-locked. They might be the size of sister-locks, but they are not sister-locks. They're microlocs, interlocks. But just to make sure that I was getting the best look, I used the sisterlocs grid pattern, and to find what that looked like, I just searched the hashtag sisterlocs on Instagram and it just showed me a lot of installation pictures which had the grid in there. So I was able to see what a grid looks like and I was able to pattern my hair from that. Sisterlocs are beautiful, but I really could not afford them. They were too expensive for me, and I always do a lot of things myself. I do my hair myself. I'm very particular about what my hair looks like. So I felt better doing my own hair and it was cheaper as well. So it's a win-win. I've been getting a lot of questions from persons wanting to know if I install locks. Yes, I do. I have started offering services, but most of my followers, they're in the US. And so when they ask, I feel so bad disappointing them to say, no, I'm actually in Jamaica, so I can't install your locks. But I have installed locks and I want to continue installing locks, but it is a tedious process. It took it took about 3 days, about 24 hours in total to install the locks that I did, and they weren't as small as mine, but they were longer. So if I'm going to provide that service on a normal basis, it would probably have to be just that service alone, or to limit the amount of installs I do, because it's really taxing on your wrist, it's taxing on your back, it's taxing on your legs. So trust me, when sisterlocs consultants or lock consultants charge an arm and a leg for installing locks, trust me, it's worth it, because their bodies go through a lot to install those locks and it takes a lot of time and skill. So kudos to them. Okay, so a couple of questions I got about my ends. My hair texture is very curly, so I didn't really have to do anything at all to it. I wash it and it curls up like this. So I have really curly ends, and a lot of persons were asking about that. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't curl it specifically. I didn't put any products in it or anything like that to get them like that. They just naturally shrink up on themselves. So yeah. So the next question is, how did you learn how to do interlocks? There are so many videos on YouTube, guys. Trust me, I watched hours and hours and hours of videos on how to do it, and I kind of just put together the best practices and the easiest methods, and that's what I did to install my locks myself. It was pretty easy to find the information. A lot of persons are here to assist you with, there are a lot of persons here to assist you with, doing your hair, and there's so many resources, guys. I watched so many YouTube videos. I don't even remember one name out of the bunch, but I watched a ton. Just do your research, watch the videos, and trust me, just do a test lock and see what it's like. If it doesn't work, you can pull it out and try again, but there are a ton of resources. What edge control do you use? I use Eco Styler gel. At one point I was using, what's it called? Gorilla Snot glue, but it leaves, both of them leave buildup, right? But the Gorilla Snot gel, its buildup is way thicker. So it was way more difficult to get out of my locks. So I switched to Eco Styler gel, and once I wash my hair with a clarifying shampoo, it's gone. So I don't really worry about buildup. And I try not to get the locks themselves, like gel in the locks themselves. I just put it on my edges. But once my hair is at a certain length, I'm not necessarily going to be worrying about edges, because the edges are just for me to feel like I'm styling my hair. Because it's so short, I need to do something else to it. Okay, so the next question is, can you tell me what tool you use to interlock, and did you measure your partings? I used a tapestry needle. At first, I used one of those plastic ones that you can find on Amazon. I used one of those. I got mine here in Jamaica at the fabric store at Pink's Fabrics for like $50 for one, because they break after a while. So I got a bunch of them, and that's what I've been using to interlock my hair. Now, as it relates to measuring the size of my locks, no, I did not measure my locks. The only thing I did was just to feel that, in just using my hands, I feel a lot around there. So I just felt that, okay, this is the right amount of hair relative to the previous one that I did. So that's what I did. I just, used my fingers to feel if all the parts that I made are the same size. But other than that, I didn't measure with a right. So I just used my hands to measure that they were the same size. But other than that, I did not measure them with a tool or anything. I just wanted them to be neat and in a straight row and pretty much uniformed. Okay, so the final question, because a lot of these questions are repeat questions, is how do you keep your hands out of your hair? Now, I still have not found a solution for that. My hands are constantly in my hair day and night. The only thing that I found that helps, sort of, is when I get my nails done. I just feel like I don't want to poke any holes in my locks, so that helps sort of. And wearing a bonnet. But once my bonnet is off, even with the nails, sometimes my hand is back in my hair, feeling the roots, feeling, oh, which one of them, you know, is fat, which is skinny. Like my hands are constantly in my hair. So I'm working on, you know, fixing that, because I've heard that, or I've read that, you know, you don't want to interfere with your locks too much, because you might hinder the locking process. So if you found any solution for keeping your hands out of your hair when it's locked, you can leave it in the comments below, because I need some help. This is after retightening my hair like 2 weeks ago. I just redid the front ones, so they're a little grown out, but I'm just going to show you what my locks look like. I don't know if you'll be able to see a grid per se. All right guys, so that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions that you'd like me to answer, you can just leave them in the comments below, or follow me over on Carry On Lock on Instagram, and I will answer them as soon as I can. Okay, also if you'd like to get your locks installed in Jamaica, you can DM me on Carry On Lock. The information will be on the screen right here, so you can go ahead and follow me there, so you can send me a DM. All right, so until next time guys, I hope you have an amazing day. You know, stay safe out there. It is a pandemic, a panini, a pandemonium, but guys, please be safe. Wear a mask, sanitize your hands, and until next time, bye.